Hello YouTube and welcome back to another edition of 3 Wide. This week the Verizon Indy cars were at Road America for the Kohler Grand Prix. A race that if you looked at the box score you would think was just a one-sided domination race by Joseph Newgarden where nothing was really close. But pretty much throughout this race, until about 10 laps to go, the top 5 were pretty much within 5 seconds of each other for the entire race until the end. Now on to my 3 takeaways from the Kohler Grand Prix. Number 1, good days gone bad. Going into today's race, there were many names that we all thought could contend for the win and maybe even get that win. But for 3 big names off of that list, it did not go to fruition. We'll start things with the Indy 500 champion, Will Power. Will Power qualified second and looked to be a strong contender to his teammate Joseph Newgarden. But that took a turn on lap 1, where on the start, it seemed that Power had an engine issue which turned into a header problem. He ended up only completing 2 laps and he finished last in this race. It took a big hit in the points and is now 65 points behind leader Scott Dixon. Now on to lap 10, where St. Petersburg winner Sebastian Bourdais came into the pits with an electronic issue, which turned out to be a gear control unit problem. This didn't end Bourdais' day, but it did take him out of contention for the win after qualifying 6th and saying that he only really turned 1 good lap in all of qualifying. He ended up finishing 13th. This leads us to lap 39, where all of a sudden Alexander Rossi started letting cars by him. The report was that he had a cut tire, but then when he came into the pits, what it turned out to be one of the left front camber shims came loose, and the team tightened that up and sent him back out. He ended up finishing 16th. All in all, you can say these 3 are looking to put Road America behind them. Now on to number 2, the battle up front. Even though Joseph Newgarden pretty much put on a show today, being in the front all day, the top 5 or 6 cars really were never too far apart from one another. With Newgarden leading, Ryan Hunter-Reay was right behind him for pretty much the entire day. Then Scott Dixon was 3rd today in the finishing order, and he was near the front, being in the top 6 pretty much all day. Alexander Rossi was looking to make some moves, but he had the tire problem. Takuma Sato put on his best performance of the year and was in that front pack for a majority of the day. And Robert Wickens was always in that 5th or 6th spot, always looking to make a move. But this all would change in the last 10 laps when Joseph Newgarden just let it all go and took a huge lead and won the race. Which leads to number 3, Newgarden dominates. In today's race at Road America, out of the 55 laps, Joseph Newgarden led all but 2. This was an overall great weekend for Newgarden, who took the pole on Saturday and then really never relinquished it except for those 2 laps on Sunday. With Newgarden getting this win, this breaks his streak. Ever since winning at Barber on April 23rd, his highest finish has been 8th, and today getting this win, this propels him back into that top mix of the championship, where he's now only 50 points behind leader Scott Dixon. Now we'll see if Newgarden can keep his momentum up and try to go back-to-back and win the championship and try for 2 race wins in a row. Now what to look ahead to on July 8th at Iowa for the Iowa Corn 300. Number 1, Ryan Hunter-Reay goes for his 4th win at Iowa. If we look at the past year at Iowa, Ryan Hunter-Reay has 3 wins. He won his first race in 2012, and he went back-to-back in 2014 and 2015. He also has a 2nd in 2013 and a 3rd at this race last season. Now we'll see if Hunter-Reay can ride his huge wave of momentum where he's currently 2nd in the championship after getting a win at one of the Detroit races and finishing 2nd at Road America. We'll see if Hunter-Reay can get the job done at Iowa. Number 2, Power looking to bounce back. After almost sweeping everything at Indy, just not getting the pole for the 500, Power has had 2 really bad back-to-back races where he finished 18th at Texas after getting into a wreck with Zachary Claman-DeMello, and at Road America where he had his engine issues and finished 23rd, last on the grid. Power goes into Iowa with full belief that he can still get this championship win, and if we look at his past here at Iowa, he's had 3 poles and 3 top 5s. And now we'll see if Power can get back into that championship hunt and put the field on notice by getting a win at Iowa. And number 3, what kind of track will we have? With this race at Iowa this year starting at about 2:40 Eastern time, instead of where it was last year at about 5 o'clock Eastern time, we'll see if anything happens to the track. We'll see if the top line will be the way around, or if all the lanes will be equal and you can roll wherever you want to. If we just look at the 2 NASCAR races that they just had at Iowa, where in the trucks in the Xfinity series, where they were running around the top, and then when they would go for that pass, they'd have to dive down into a lower lane and hope it would stick. Now we'll see if the Indy cars have to do any sort of thing like that to get the job done this go around at Iowa. And that'll do it for 3 Wide. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.